We are disrupting patterns. Welcome to the Sparkle Podcast for Mamas. You may be a single mom doing her best to rise above adversity. You may be married, working at home, homeschooling, or wanting to homeschool your babies. Either way, girl, you are showing up daily and doing your best, and I'm proud of you. So on this podcast, we are going to have real conversations. We are going to be opening up on real life, real-time situations that moms go through. We are literally going to relate with each other on all the things that come up on a daily, weekly, monthly, and annual basis. We are going to tackle situations head on, get real about them, and give you strategic, intentional action steps to take so you can conquer and overcome. You will rise and sparkle. Hey, my name is Portia Franklin. I'm a wifey, entrepreneur, and homeschooling mama raising kingdom warriors. And I'm encouraging moms to do the same as we love and lead ourselves well. So let's go. We believe in God and we pray in the name of Jesus. Communication is such an important skill. The way you articulate your thoughts can make or break you. Honestly, you and I need to learn how to properly communicate to ourselves in order to lead ourselves well, or we will never get the results we are actually after, and especially will not lead a team of people effectively to their desired results if we don't get this foundational skill in check and properly functioning in our lives. Let's talk. Hey, I'm Portia Franklin. I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome to the Sparkle Podcast. I have a conversation and it is around communication, and I want to talk about self-communication because this is we talk about pandemics, this is something that happens consistently with people. And it's not only people that are, in leadership positions or, working in top positions in corporate. It is with us moms, everyday women that are living our lives. And so I consider myself to be a pretty great communicator. I have no problem letting people know how I feel and what I want. Today, I'm actually even stronger in my communication than ever before. But I want to be honest. I am stopping to think about how I'm communicating now with myself. So self-talk is super critical. And if I'm not talking kindly to myself, what kind of results am I getting in life? And it's something that I've been really thinking about. And I've been reading the book, doing a lot of inner work. If you've been listening to my podcast for a little time now, you know that I'm like a total geek on personal development. And I've been going in with inner healing and just healing my heart of things that have happened in the past. And so I'm really talking about your mindset, the way you talk to yourself. To effectively speak, you have to know way more than you're really actually talking about. And that's when you're talking to people, but even with yourself, what are you thinking about? How are you speaking to yourself? And do you know what you're talking about? When you're talking to yourself, right? If we talk about self-love and all of the topics that we have that float around, that are trending right now, it's all about self-love, that girl routine, all of the things. What are you saying to yourself about those things? Are you saying, I am that girl? I love myself. Do you look in the mirror and what are you saying about your reflection? Do you say you're beautiful, or do you say, gosh, I wish I was blah, blah, blah. Gosh, I'm too da, 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 da. What does that conversation look like? Because seriously, and it is a process. It is a process. And I don't know where you are in the process, but literally, how can we become epic communicators? And not only communicators to other people around us, how can we become epic self-communicators? There's a process. And this is something that I heard from somebody. And I was like, that is amazing, because the process that you could be in, you can find yourself on this process. And I do believe that this actually is a thing, that you come from sickness to healing, barrenness to fruitfulness, poverty to prosperity. So wherever you are, and honestly with this, be real with where you're at. Be open to going, wow, am I in barrenness? Am I in sickness? Am I in poverty? And where are you at with that? And that could be a poverty mindset. That can be a barrenness mindset mentality. That could be a sickness mentality. So let's talk about that. A sickness mentality is constantly, your mind creates, like, you are not how you feel. You are not how you feel. As much as the feelings are so powerful, you are not how you feel. And so if you continuously feel some type of way and you are feeling sick, or you are feeling like tired, a lot of people do this, like, where I'm so tired. And so you stay in that tired mentality and your body follows suit. And so, but how can you come from sickness to healing? How can you have a healed mentality of going, you know what? I know I feel this way, but I need to take a look at something. What did I eat? How am I drinking? Am I drinking enough water? Am I taking supplements that are going to support me in feeling more energetic and healthy? Am I having a diet that is supporting my immune system and my energy levels? What is that looking like? Because there is cause and effect. There's a massive cause and effect in the process of our life. And so where are you at with that? Sickness, we need to go into healing, right? So we get out of the sickness into healing. So barrenness into fruitfulness. Are you in a season, or can you look around? Do you have fruitfulness around you? Like, are you prospering in your life? Like, prosperity and fruitfulness, there's a couple different things that you can look at if you look at it in perspective of, like, barrenness, you're not bearing fruit. Like, I want to say, like, as a mother, am I being fruitful in the way I'm raising my children? Is the fruit of my children showing that I'm not barren? Like, I am disciplining my children, so are they showing the fruit of their mother's discipline, their mother's love, their mother's guidance, their mother's, if you will, coaching? Like, am I being fruitful in that area? So you can take this process and you can put it into multiple areas of your life, but it is either barren or it is fruitful. And you got to be honest with yourself. Am I bearing fruit, or am I bearing barrenness? Is it dead? Is there no living fruit on the tree of my life? So looking at that area too. And then you go into the process of being in poverty to prosperity. And this is like, if there was a degree in, like, poverty mentality and poverty living, I would have the degree. Okay. So I've been through this. I come from this. This is what I was raised in. And, one day I'll share my complete story, but growing up, I did not have, if you will, privilege. There was no privilege. I was, I had a very hardworking mother that knew what she knew and did what she did to keep me safe and give me food and make sure that I was warm at night. Okay. So, and she did a really good job at that. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter if you're living in a mansion or if you're in a tent. Are you warm? Do you have food? Do you feel loved? Right? So if your parent gave you those three things, then bravo. You know what I'm saying? Like, bravo. She kept you safe. They kept you warm. You were fed and you felt loved. Like that, like, you could be in a mansion. You could be in, like, rich ambiance, if you will, like living a luxurious life, but have such a poverty state of mind because you are maybe potentially lonely, or you're not getting fed the necessary things for you to feel all of the prosperous ways that you could potentially feel. So you could, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what car you drive. Where are you in your mentality? This is, I'm talking about the process, and all of this really goes down into your mentality. So if there was a degree on poverty, I would have it, the poverty mindset, and physically poverish. Like, I was there, I've been there, and I'm literally being healed of a poverty mindset, because it truly is a mindset. It doesn't matter where you come. Success and prosperity is no respecter of person. Like, you can and you will have prosperity if you choose to go deep and go after it. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, so in the process of poverty to prosperity, what is your mindset? What is your mindset on money? What is your mindset on, like, are you poor? Like it says in the Bible, like, you could be poor in spirit, but that's not financially poor. That means that you're like humble. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got to be very clear and understanding on where you're putting your knowledge, or like where you're thinking, what you're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? If I'm articulating that correctly in this communication podcast. But anyways, where are you at mentally? Are you living in a poverty or prosperity mindset? Do you think nothing works out for me? Oh my gosh, there's always another bill that comes. I can't afford this. You know, nobody likes me. All of that. Poverty mindset. Or you go into a prosperity mindset and going, you know what? Everything always works out. Everything always works out for me. I don't have to worry. I know that this is looking like this, but I have a skill set. I'm resourceful. I'm resourceful, and I can make things happen. Like, and you know what? People like me because I'm likable, I'm friendly, and if they don't like me, then that's fine. Moving forward, right? Prosperity in your life can be on every single level. I love to look at prosperity in these categories of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So all of these areas of my life, they lead to prosperity. And if one area is lacking of those topics, or of one of those areas, if I'm becoming impatient, I need to look at that, right? Like, what's going on there? So anyways, I hope that makes sense. But there is a process, and no matter where you are on this process, or what level of life you're in, you can always get better. There's opportunity to change your mind. Your mind is plastic, not plastic, but neuroplasticity is real, and you can change your mind. That just means that your mind is ever changing, and that you can change the neural pathways in your mind by thinking a new thought and believing something different, right? And so neuroplasticity, literally, I've always heard it's between the 6 inches between your head, like between, and the 6-inch drop, or however many inches it is from your head to your heart. What you think about, like, I've been here and I know this so well. Like, you can know a thing, but then not believe a thing, and you will not get a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to marry our thoughts and believe it in our heart. Like, if we're saying affirmations, you can say affirmations all day, but if you don't believe it in your heart, it is 10 out of 10 not going to happen for you. Okay. So I really want to stress that too. It's like, along with your communication to yourself, if you're doing those affirmations, do you actually believe it? And it's like, oh, fake it till you make it, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, I tried that for a really long time, and like, oh, manifestation and all of the things. It's like the new age way of manifestation, and just fake it till you make it, and all those things. Like, it's a fallacy, because honestly, like, you can think, you can say like all the things, but if you don't believe it, like, whatever is in your heart, you will become. Whatever is in your heart, you go towards, and whatever you think about, you do bring about. And so, like, and that can be contradicting a little bit, as far as like, oh, well, you just said whatever you think about, you bring about. Well, yes, what you reap in your mind, you'll sow, but is it like, how do I articulate this? What you think about, you bring about. Think negative thoughts, negative things happen. Think positive thoughts, more positive things will happen. And really, in emotions, and you know, I'm not like a guru on this area, so I'm going to look into this, because it's raising a question for me too, because so I know this firsthand. I'm literally processing with you right now about this, but I've done all of the, you know, affirmations and all of the things that, you know, what you think about, you bring about, in successes, like in leadership, and all of, like, if there was a position that I wanted, I would, you know, pretend, like act like I was in the position that I wanted and all of the things. However, that was going on for a long time, and I kept self-sabotaging to the point of like, okay, well, I'm doing all the things, I'm saying the affirmations, I'm thinking about the thing, but it's not happening. And so that's where I'm talking about of going, well, you need to drop it down from your mind to your heart. What is blocking you? What self-sabotaging root is happening to where you actually don't believe you deserve that position? You actually don't believe you could obtain it. Does that make sense? If I brought that point home, please let me know. But that's where I'm coming from when I say, all of the new age stuff, like, yes, what you think about, you bring about, especially in emotion, when you want to think that you're happy, like just smile and it will change your demeanor kind of thing. But if there's something that that you've been thinking about for a long time and you've been really trying to quote unquote manifest, what is blocking you? What in your heart don't you believe? And where does that unbelief come from, the root source? So honestly, like, there is a process. And if you're willing to go a little deeper to figure out why you're being blocked, if you're willing to go a little bit deeper to find out why you're being blocked, you're going to get breakthrough in that thing. You're going to find a way to what you truly want and what actually God really actually wants for you, because it's in the knowing that there's something not right, that that God is trying to get your attention to bring you into alignment. So anyways, that was a tangent on the process. But okay, so how can you become an epic self-communicator? How can you become an epic communicator? Okay, so can we just talk about first practice communicating. Like, just think about what you're thinking about. Read books like The Battlefield of the Mind to help your mind get clear if you have negative thoughts. And it also helps to read a lot of books. If you want to make yourself articulate, not only should you read, but also write it all out. So like, write your thoughts out, write what you're thinking about. And if you want to be, a great communicator with other people, then again, read books, write the things out that you're thinking about, and write your thoughts out. If you can do this about 15 minutes a day, you can really strengthen what you're thinking about and how you're thinking and how you're articulating those thoughts. Philippians 4:8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good rapport, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Truly think on those things. I'm going to end this episode on Philippians 4:8. Like, think about what you're thinking about, if it's lovely, if it's pure, if it's true. Go into the thoughts that are negative, and why are you having those negative thoughts? What's triggering it? Are you having judgmental thoughts? Judgment is just a thought that has turned in to judgment. Like, you've been pondering on that thought so long that it is now a judgment, and that can happen very quickly. Or somebody could trigger a thought that you've already had a long time ago that brings it up, that you've already pondered on, that is already a judgment, and it just gets triggered again. And so think about that stuff. Like, that is not good. You want to be free, and you want to be free of judgment. You don't want people judging you. So think about that. Don't be judging other people in your thought process, because that just messes up everything as far as like having positive thoughts and self-communication. Because if you're talking to yourself about other people, like, what are you really focused on? Are you actually really focused on getting better or helping yourself succeed? Right? Just something to think about. So anyways, whatever is pure, whatever is noble, whatever is true, think on those things. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this podcast today. If it resonated with you, if anything made sense to you, please let me know. Screenshot the episode and tag me on Instagram at portia.franklin and let me know what you think in the review area as well. Have you been listening? What do you like about it? What could we change? What could we add? All of the things. Leave a 5-star review if you're enjoying it. overall. And again, I just appreciate you for listening, and share it with a friend that may love the content. Talk to you soon.